Since the first part of this video, I have completed the hatching on the walls. I have, using the 6H pencil, done the lines for the dimensions, which we will run through in a moment. I have also sketched the outline of the kitchen units and some for the toilet and wash hand basin, and I've put construction lines on for the writing of the room names. And you can see on this side of the drawing I've actually completed the dimensions and put the room names in. So we will do that on the other two sides of the building. First of all, we'll have a look at the dimensions. You will notice that I have got three sets of dimension lines. The first line that's closest to the building, so closest to the building on all four sides, is the one that picks up the sizes of the rooms, going from wall to wall. Then the second line is the one that picks up openings in the external walls, so it picks up the window and the door and the wall lengths either side of them. And then the third and final line is one that just picks up overall lengths of that building. Now on the side of the building, because there are no external openings, doors and windows, I have not done that second line. So I've just done the room sizes and an overall length. So on the top of the drawing by here now, I have very lightly sketched on my three lines. Try to equally space these lines apart, and I just mark the positions of the openings as well. So I'm going to get the HB pencil and I am going to carefully draw on those lines and do the dimensions on that side. So you'll notice I'm going out slightly beyond the edge of the wall, and then for this one I'm not, the one that's closest, because we're only measuring to the interior face, but I have gone beyond where we're measuring, so it does overhang a little bit, like you can see by there. So now I'm positioning the crosshairs, picking out the different elements and making sure I mark these on the correct dimension line. Take a little bit out of that. Okay, so then I get my 6H and do the construction lines for the writing. Now if you're thinking, how big is the writing? Well, we're typically looking at about 5 or 6 millimeters in height. Okay. Now, starting with the outside, so that's 7 meters. That's a nice easy one. Okay. The inside one, also fairly straightforward. We've got 350 for our wall constructions either side, so that would leave us with 6300. Okay. And then we've got the individual elements of the building, so I'll just check the sizes of my openings. 1500 for the window and the door. Okay, we've got 1650 thereabouts on the inside of that. And then we've got about slightly bigger on this side. So we'll just double check now by adding up our dimensions. So 3 meters, 4,650 leaves us with 350 to 350. So I've got to make sure that these two end ones now add up to 2,350. So I'm going to say that this one is 1150, and over this side I'm going to put as 1200. There we go. So now it all adds up. Now you'll notice with the dimensions that we do not rotate the writing. We keep it the same way up, all of the writing. Alright, and then you would just repeat the process for the dimensions on this side of the building as well. And then I'll just do a quick tally. 5, 6, 7 meters. So we should be left with 3 meters in there. Okay, that's the dimensions completed. Next I'm going to move on to the kitchen units. So I'm going to use the 2H pencil to draw in the units. Like I said, I've already done them lightly with the 6H. Now, the kitchen units need to be 600 millimeters from the wall for the depth of the units. The widths of the units do vary. Typically, they are 300, 400, 600, so they can vary and be designed around the space that you've got. Once you've got the outline of the units in place, you then got to think of some of the main elements. Now in this case I'm doing a sink. Okay, so we've got the sink there, which can be again various sizes, 1 meter wide, 1200 wide. I'm going to draw not quite the full square of the sink, and I'm going to just draw by hand the curves on the edges. If you've got a little circle template, a stencil, then you could use that just to curve those, but just having little rounded edges just makes it look a little bit more natural. Okay, and then a few straight lines like so for your draining board. Then we've got a cooker. Don't put the cooker too close to the sink. Okay. And again, you may want to use a little circular template or stencil to do the circles for the hobs, or you may want to use a little compass. Okay, so the cooker I've done at 600 wide. Again, they do vary a little bit. You get different sizes. You could look on a B&Q website or Wix's or whatever whoever sells cookers, and you could just see what sorts of sizes they come in. And that would just be a basic little layout of the kitchen there, showing us what's in the kitchen. Similar thing for the toilet and wash hand basin in the downstairs loo. Okay, so the toilet I've drawn as well. Again, I'm just going to round the corners with my hand, just freehand, just to try and give it a little bit more of a natural look. The toilet itself, I'm going to just do freehand like so. There we go. Then we'd be looking to put the rest of the room names on. Again, so construction lines in 6H. Try and keep the writing nice and neat to the sizes of the lines. So you've got your top and bottom for the top and bottom of letters. You've got a centre line which guides the sizes of the lowercase or middle elements of the letters. Okay, and that concludes our ground floor detailed plan. If you are then going on to do the upstairs detailed plan, you could overlay a sheet, you can trace again certain elements like external walls, make sure you trace the staircase, and then you'll be able to use that to help you with the positioning of things upstairs. So thank you for watching this video, and look out for the next one.